All right, so here we are, PUBG Championships, man. I'm kind of curious, how did you get involved with PUBG?
Yeah, I got involved with PUBG kind of when it first came out, obviously on Steam. I was playing H1Z1, and then a buddy of mine says, hey, man, the guy who created mods for PUBG is doing his own game. And so I downloaded it, and I started playing it and fell in love with it.
That's awesome. And then you became an affiliate somewhere down the line?
Yeah, so I became an affiliate. One of the women who were working for Bluehole, that's who owned the game to begin with, reached out to me. She goes, hey, we see you're playing our game. Do you like it? And I was like, yeah, I absolutely love it. I love running people over. And she goes, okay, well, we're doing an affiliate program. Would you like to be part of it? I'm like, yeah, sure. What do I have to do? I always like to ask, what do I have to do before I can become an affiliate? Because I don't want to sell my soul. It was very minor things. And then, yeah, so I signed on to be affiliate and pushed the game.
Nice. And it's been magic ever since.
Yeah, magic ever since. And once I became an affiliate, I was able to create my own custom games, and I would do, only airdrops were the only guns you can get. So it would be just a massacre of cars everywhere, just trying to get the airdrop. And then once one person got like the 50 cal machine gun, they would just mow down. So that was probably like the best thing, that when I got my partner or affiliate, where I can just do my own custom games.
Hell yeah. What do you think appeals to gamers, especially competitive gamers, so much about PUBG?
I think the realism. I think there's a lot of battle royale games out there, but I think PUBG gets close to realism as it gets, with the different maps, the different customization you get with the guns. I'll never forget my father-in-law, 64 years old, served in the Marine Corps. I asked him, I was like, what do you think of a Car 98? He goes, it's a shitty gun. In real life, it's a shitty gun. It's a bolt action sniper rifle. He started going down, and I'm like, okay, that's a legit gun in the game. That was another thing I think appeals a lot to the fans out there, is that there's actual legit guns in the games with a force grip, extended mag, all that stuff.
So is that what appealed to you about PUBG initially? Like, what got you into it?
Just the aspect of one person survives, 100 people drop in, one person survives, and just the aspect I can do whatever I want. Like if I want to jump in a car and just try to run somebody over, I can do that. If I want to try to play hide and seek and hide behind doors or anything like that, I can do it as well. The complex of how you can get different attachments to guns, just literally the whole game.
I guess survival games in general. Are you a big survival game fan then?
When it comes to Resident Evils, yeah, I am. I love that series from 1 to all the way to 7, played all of them. And I think those are two different types of survival games. Like when you're saying survival, I feel like survival horror. I feel like this is not much of a survival game. I feel you are trying to survive, but if you're trying to survive, you're just going to hide the whole time, essentially, right? So I feel like this is more of an action-based, first-person or third-person shooter.
There's more of an aggressive nature to it.
I would say so, yeah. Not when you say once you say survival, I was thinking of like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, games like that.
Nice. What's it like for you being here at the grand finals today?
I love it. I mean, you see the different level of gameplay of how good these guys are. I'm sitting up there and I'm watching. And I was like, man, I'm shocked that I haven't seen somebody use a Kar 98 or M24 or any sniper rifle. And my buddy was like, no, you don't want to use it because these guys are so good. They're peaking. So if they're peaking, the best guns to use in, a PUBG, esports level is Mini 14 and an M4. And I was like, oh, I would never have thought that. I thought, if I was on the team, I'm like, give me that M24, baby, and I'll knock him dead. But he was like, you wouldn't have the time to do it.
Man, so it's helping you develop new strategies then too.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He goes, the M24, the bolt action snipers, that's for content creation, right? But if you're trying to get stuff done and you're trying to push the action, you need a Mini 14 and an M4.
Now, I'm sure as a professional athlete, you're a competitive guy. The competitive nature of PUBG is obviously something that draws a lot of people to it. Like what's the intensity like? Like, so let's say being in a round of PUBG versus like being in an arena and like actually throwing down.
Well, it's a little bit different because there's a little more physical altercations going on, you can say. Being in an arena, watching a Muay Thai fight and win a championship, it's very, 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 you're like, ooh, God, look, I get hurt. Here, this is excitement, seeing teams make plays with their grenades, getting after people with long shots, grabbing the car, getting out of danger, or smoking everything. There's more of an anticipation of what's going to happen next.
How do you think esports compares to what you do as an athlete?
Well, it's a little bit different, but I would say the thing that coexists with each other is that the athletes put in a lot of hours and time into their craft. I put many hours into me training Muay Thai, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. Two of these guys, they put so many hours in on one specific game. Like these guys up here, they're playing just PUBG. So that's where they coexist. As far as esports and mixed martial arts in general, they're both growing fast. They're both sports that are growing very fast, and I think esports is probably going a lot faster from where it started to where mixed martial arts has been around forever. So those are which ways I say they have the similarities.
Nice. I mean, you've kind of been able to get in on the ground floor of esports in a lot of ways here. Like, what's it been like for you to witness it grow?
I mean, when you say I got in on the ground floor, I would say I've been a big supporter of gaming because it's a passion of mine, right? Who won? That's good. Not FaZe. We don't want FaZe to win. We want Gen.G to win. Okay, so because I said Gen.G was gonna win. I like to look right, not wrong. But I would say I've always been a big fan of gaming. It's always been a passion of mine. So once I started streaming on Twitch and playing these games and these titles, I've also seen the rise of esports. I remember forget when the Olympics came on and Dota 2 or there was an esports event going on and had way more viewership than the actual Olympics. And I was like, they're going to keep on growing, dude. There's going to be so many games. There's going to be so much more money to be thrown in it. And it's awesome.
That's right. Now, I was checking out your Instagram and stuff before we were getting ready for this interview, and you're a big old nerd, man. You're repping for Star Wars and all this cool stuff. It's interesting to me because growing up in the 80s and stuff, it was very socially ostracizing to be into a lot of those things, and now seeing someone like you, like a pro athlete, repping hard for the nerd scene, it's really interesting.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that when I became the one esports brand ambassador is that bridging that gap, right? From, like you said, the 80s coming up and doing all that stuff, a lot of people didn't really talk about, if you're a gamer, you're considered a nerd. And I'm like, what's wrong with being a nerd? I'd rather be at home playing a game, clocking, 5 to 8 hours playing World of Warcraft or PUBG or whatever game I fancy that night, instead of going out to a bar, drinking beer, driving home, getting a DUI, crashing, and coming home beating my wife. I think I'd rather be the nerd that's actually playing video games than the dude who's doing all the negative stuff out there. So I'm happy I can be a flagship for you, and we'll never stop.
Nice, that's awesome. What are you playing right now? What are you into?
The two games I play all the time is PUBG and World of Warcraft. I cycle through those games. I typically play more World of Warcraft off stream because my community doesn't really like it. So most of the time I'm streaming, it's always PUBG.
Nice. Any tips for people that want to get into PUBG and want to get the mad skills?
Play on PC. Don't play on console. But if you don't have a PC, play on console because it's fantastic on that as well. But once you play on PC, your mind's gonna be blown away.
All right. Fair enough. And I was gonna ask you who you wanted to win today, but it sounds like you already picked a winner.
I was talking to someone and they said, "Who are you going for?" I was like, Gen.G. I like how they won. They're pretty conservative sometimes when they're playing. They're also aggressive at certain things. And I'm just a big fan of the scene and the game itself. So I picked a team. I picked Gen.G, and I'm gonna ride that bandwagon till it goes down. Hey,
it looks like a good bandwagon to be riding right now. They picked up 2 chicken dinners yesterday, and they're last time I checked, they were still in the lead today.
They're still in the lead. I think FaZe Clan's right behind them by 10 points. So hopefully they keep that lead and see what happens.